Good morning, future officers. Welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important CT 360 series session in which we cover the most important current affairs from the examination point of view. And in this session, we will be covering the most important JNDSI current affairs from 1st to 2nd of April
Good morning,
2025.
future officers. Welcome to EduTap
So,
and welcome to
my
another
dear friends, if
important
I'm audible and visible to all of you,
cover
please
the
give me
most
a thumbs up in
important
the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. If I'm audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can begin with the today's session, guys. So if you're preparing for RBI, NABARD, SEBI, or other banking examinations like IBPS PO, SBI PO, or wherever the current affairs is being required, let me tell you that these sessions are really going to be very helpful for all of you. Because in these sessions, we come up with the most important news articles from the different newspapers, which are really important, authentic source of information like Press Information Bureau, The Hindu, Economic Times, Live Mint, Business Standard, and all. So I'm getting the responses from the people. Thank you, Gururaj, Shanika. Very good morning to both of you and all the people who have joined us today live in this particular session. So, my dear friends, whenever we start with the today's session, we always tell you that always come prepared with the revision of the previous session. And today as well, we will be first revising the topics of the previous session across the important dimensions, and then we will moving ahead to the today's topics, right? So let's start with the revision part. But before starting with the revision, let me tell you that today I'm having a total of 11 topics for all of you, and these are the topics which we have seen in the news articles of the last 2 days, and these topics are really very important from the exam point of view because it covers some schemes, some milestones which have been achieved by the Indian organizations. Okay, so let's start first with the revision, and here is the very first question to which you all are required to answer in the comment section. So first question is about the NCAER State Economic Forum portal. So it was been announced with one of the organization, a very important organization. जिसका होमवर्क क्वेश्चन भी मैंने आपसे लास्ट सेशन में पूछा था about his whole time member who has been recently appointed. So what is the name of this particular organization in collaboration with which the NCAER has set up this economic forum portal? What is it? It is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is the right answer. Niti Aayog is the right answer, right? So Niti Aayog is the right answer to this question. Moving to the next question. So, who among the following has been honored with the Top Improvers Award in the EASE 6.0 Reforms Index? We covered the EASE 6.0 Reforms Index, right? So, which bank was being honored with the Top Improvers Award? It was Punjab and Sindh Bank. So, Punjab and Sindh Bank is the right answer. Punjab and Sindh Bank. That is the right part. Moving ahead. So, International Day of Yoga we celebrate every year on June 21. So, what exactly is the theme for the International Day of Yoga 2025? Quickly tell me in the chat box what is the theme. I can see in the chat box Shanika, Aditya, Gururaj, Pavan, all the people giving me the right answer to these questions. Well done, guys. Now, please try to answer this particular question that what is the theme of International Day of Yoga? We all know that every year we celebrate International Day of Yoga on June 21. तो 21st जून को हम celebrate करते हैं International Day of Yoga. And I can see in the chat box, so Aditya has given me the right answer. That is yoga for One Health, One Earth. Absolutely right. Next question. Wari Energies Limited has launched its India's largest solar cell manufacturing gigafactory. And what is the location of this factory? Where exactly this factory will be located? It will be located in Indian state of Gujarat. Gujarat is the right answer. Now, next question. Who is presently serving as the chairman of the State Bank of India has been appointed as the new chairman of IBA. So who is the new chairman of IBA? What is the name of this person? It's Challa Srinivasalu Setty is the right answer. We have already covered these articles in a detailed manner in the previous session, and it is very important that we always come with the next session with our proper revision. ठीक है, अगले सेशन में आने से पहले हम अपनी रिवीजन को पूरा करें so that हम पिछली इंफॉर्मेशन को भी अब्सॉर्ब कर चुके हैं एंड वी आर रेडी नाउ टू अब्सॉर्ब द टुडे सेशन इंफॉर्मेशन राइट so that's what is very important to come prepared. Moving to the next part. So Abel Prize 2025 which has been given to the mathematicians, and this year it has been given to Japanese mathematician. What is the name of this person who has been given this award? So the person who has been given this award is Masaki Kashiwara. Absolutely right, Masaki Kashiwara is the right answer. Moving to the next question, India's table tennis star has created history as he became the first Indian to qualify for final eight of the WTT Star Contender event. Although he created this history, and that is the important part, right? But in later down in the event, he basically got out as he got defeated. So what is the name of this person? It's Manav Thakkar. So Manav Thakkar is the India's table tennis star who became the first Indian to qualify for final eight of WTT Star Contenders. Next question, Operation Brahma has been launched by the Indian Army to assist earthquake victims in which country? So which country has been hit by an earthquake and Operation Brahma has been launched by Indian Army there? That is Myanmar. Myanmar is the right answer. Next question, fourth edition of exercise dash, which is a bilateral tri-service exercise between India, US humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. What is the name of this exercise? It is Tiger Triumph. So all the people are roaring with their answers in the chat box. That shows that yes, you're really committed to your dream of becoming the next officer in the desired organization, right? And you all are really putting up all the efforts that is required to reach that level. That really shows your hard work and commitment. And hats off to all of you. And now, my dear friends, let's move on to the topics that we are going to cover in our today's discussion. And the first topic that we will be covering here is the Eklavya Model Residential School. So we all know that EMRS scheme, my dear friends, it is a very important scheme which has been launched by the government of India, and it is a central sector scheme. So government of India set up a target to set up 728 Eklavya Model Residential Schools, which aims to benefit 3.5 lakh scheduled tribe students. So we all know that this particular scheme was being launched, and as a part of this, every block which is having more than 50% scheduled tribe population or at least 20,000 tribal persons. So basically, these are being given the education, right, under the Eklavya Model Residential School Scheme. So, my dear friends, as a part of the scheme, the target was being set up by Government of India to set up 728 Eklavya Model Residential Schools, and as of date, 721 schools have been sanctioned across the whole country, जिसमें 477 schools functional हो चुके हैं ठीक है so out of the 721 schools which have been sanctioned 477 schools have already become functional till now moving ahead this particular scheme aims to provide quality education तो दोस्तों हम सभी जानते हैं नवोदय विद्यालय हमने क्रिएट किए थे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने तो उसी के पार हम ट्राइबल चिल्ड्रंस को एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करेंगे उनके ही एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर ठीक है और इसके तहत गवर्नमेंट ने डिसाइड किया था कि हम 440 EMRSs को यहाँ पर स्टैब्लिश करेंगे जहाँ पर हर एक एमआरएस सी इन एवरी ब्लॉक देयर विल बी वन एकलव्य मॉडल रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल having more than 50% ST population and at least 20,000 tribal persons. So let me tell you that a case study can also be asked on this particular part in the examination, right? For example, they can give you the name of three students and who will be basically eligible to get the benefit of Eklavya Model Residential School, right? Or whether that particular place is eligible to have a EMRS or not. So for example, they can basically ask you that okay, Rahul is a person who is from village X and the village X is having 45% only ST population and there are only 10,000 tribal persons which are living in that particular village as per census 2011. Then there is a person that is we can say Vivek. So Vivek is from the village Y and his particular village is having 60% of the ST population and 25,000 tribal persons. So who among the following is really will really be able to will the benefit of EMRS? So the right answer will be Vivek and not Rahul because he is not able to fulfill the eligibility criteria. His village is not able to fulfill the eligibility criteria. That's what is the right part. Apart from that, initially Government of India funded 288 EMRS schools and ministry set the target to set up 728 EMRS benefiting 3.5 lakh ST students. Now guys, let's try to go to the background of this particular scheme. So this scheme was launched in 1997-98 under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs because we are focusing on the tribal children here. So the scheme is under the nodal Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Now, implementing agency is also important to be covered. So, it is the National Education Society for Tribal Students, that is NEST. याद रखिए, ट्राइबल चिल्ड्रन को हम नेस्ट के अंदर बेसिकली उनकी क्वालिटी एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, इस तरीके से याद कर सकते हैं। एकलव्य मॉडल रेजिडेंशियल स्कूल नेस्ट के अंदर ट्राइबल चिल्ड्रन को प्रोवाइड करता है क्वालिटी एजुकेशन। सो जस्ट इसको याद रखेंगे तो हमें सारी चीजें याद हो जाएंगी, राइट? सो एम इज क्वाइट क्लियर दैट वी वांट टू impart quality education to ST children in remote areas. We will make them avail opportunities and high-end professional educational courses as well. And we will not just focus on academic education but on all-round development. तो उनकी all-round development पे फोकस करेंगे। ये एक सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम है और बाकी जो एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया हम ऑलरेडी देख चुके हैं, राइट? अगर हम बात करते हैं मैक्सिमम सैंक्शन स्ट्रेंथ किसी स्कूल की, तो वो कितनी होगी? This will be a school from class 6 to class 12th and the maximum strength will be 480 students, right? तो क्लास 6 to 10th के अंदर आपके मैक्सिमम 60 स्टूडेंट्स पर क्लास होंगे और क्लास 11 to 12th के अंदर मैक्सिमम 30 स्टूडेंट्स पर क्लास होंगे। एंड द नंबर ऑफ सीट्स विल बी इक्वल फॉर बोथ बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स। तो ये कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट डिटेल्स हैं जो हमें याद रखनी चाहिए फ्रॉम द एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। ओके, तो आई होप दैट आपको ये चीजें याद रहेंगी। सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम, Eklavya Model Residential School, and with this we are done with this particular scheme. Right now, let's move on to the next news article of the today's part. That is the 52 years of Project Tiger. So इससे पहले हमने टाइगर ट्रम्प एक्सरसाइज को कवर किया था एंड नाउ वी आर कवरिंग द प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर. Let me tell you that on 1st of April 1973, Government of India come up with a very ambitious project in order to manage the tiger population in our country, which was reducing year by year. And for that, we come up as a solution with the Project Tiger, which has now completed its 52 years. So as it was established in 1973, now in 2025, it has completed 52 years of its inception, right? So now let's try to get into the deeds of the 52 years of the Project Tiger. So let me tell you, when we talk about the important key achievements, if we see that in 2006, the number of the tigers in India was just 1411 tigers, right? But this number has improved to 3682 in 2022, just in a matter of 16 years. You can see here that we almost make it double, make it 2.5 times, right? And it now when we talk about the country India, so India is the home to nearly 75% of the world's wild tiger. अगर हम देखें पूरे वर्ल्ड के जो वाइल्ड टाइगर हैं उसमें 75% इंडिया में ही पाए जाते हैं। और when we talk about the tiger reserves, my dear friends, we are now having 57 tiger reserves across the country, which approximately cover 83,000 square kilometer of the forest land. It is very important to remember the number of tiger reserves which are there in our country, right? And Tamil Nadu is having 5 tiger reserves in itself. So across the India, there are total 57 tiger reserves. So I think this Project Tiger is very much clear to all of you. Now moving ahead, when we talk about the inception of the Project Tiger Reserve, that let me tell you that earlier there were only 9 tiger reserves in the formative years of the Project Tiger, but now it has been increased to 51. राइट, ये जो कवरेज है प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर की उसके अंडर हमने 51 टाइगर रिजर्व्स को कवर कर लिया है. नाउ दिस बेसिकली अमाउंट्स टू 2.23% ऑफ द ज्योग्राफिकल एरिया ऑफ आवर होल कंट्री. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द प्रोजेक्ट टाइगर, माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, लेट मी टेल यू दैट इट्स नॉट जस्ट एन इनिशिएटिव, इट इज अ सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम. सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम कौन सी होती है? जहां पर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट बोथ ऑफ देम कंट्रीब्यूट टुगेदर फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर कॉमन इनिशिएटिव, राइट? So it is a centrally sponsored scheme of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and NTCA is the implementing body for this particular project. That is National Tiger Conservation Authority, which basically looks for overall supervisory and coordination role among the different entities and the stakeholders of the Project Tiger. So Project Tiger के 52 years हुए हैं. It was launched on 1st April 1973, and achievement we have already covered that 1411 tigers were there in 2006, and now it is 3682, making India home to 75% of the world's wild tigers. So that's all from this news article. Moving ahead, so Moody's ratings. So Moody has recently announced the GDP growth forecast for India, and it mentioned that India will grow with the growth rate of 6.5% this fiscal year, which is going to be the highest among the advanced and emerging G20 countries. तो G20 countries में अगर हम देखें तो India is having the highest GDP growth forecast of 6.5%. As per recent report by the Moody. Next, part, India records highest child adoptions. My dear friends, you all know that recently Government of India has taken so many initiatives in order to legalize the child adoption in our nation, right? And to make people aware about the legal procedure of adopting a child. And let me tell you that India has now recorded the highest child adoptions in last 12 years. You can see that it was at 4515 cases in fiscal year 24-25. So in the year 24-25 itself, we have seen 4515 child adoptions in our country, and making sure that these small children are getting their loving families, right, to spend their whole life with. So now this marks the highest adoption level since 2015-16 as well. So अगर हम बात करते हैं 4515 केसेस ऑफ चाइल्ड अडॉप्शन, तो यहाँ पर डोमेस्टिक अडॉप्शन आपके 4155 थे, ठीक है, जो कि रिफ्लेक्ट करते हैं कि अब एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं हम लीगल अडॉप्शन को हमारी कंट्री के अंदर। देन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट का ही ये डेटा है जिन्होंने बताया है दैट 4515 चाइल्ड अडॉप्शंस टुक प्लेस इन आवर कंट्री इन द लास्ट ईयर। और लास्ट ईयर ही 245 नए अडॉप्शन एजेंसीज को भी यहाँ सेटअप किया अक्रॉस द कंट्री, एंड दैट इज द रीजन माय डियर फ्रेंड्स व्हेन वी विल बी हैविंग दैट infrastructure to execute something, then only we are able to get these desired results. And this is basically the result of setting up these 245 new adoption agencies and making people aware and launching so many drives for the child adoption in our nation. So please remember this part. Now let's move on to the next part, that is the government e-marketplace. So we all know government e-marketplace is a digital procurement facility which has been provided. So now it has also achieved a milestone. And what is a milestone is? The milestone is that 1 million manpower resources have been hired through the government e-marketplace in the financial year 24-25. So we have seen in the news article that there are some milestones which have we have seen. So government e-marketplace ने फाइनेंशियल ईयर 24-25 के अंदर टोटल 1 मिलियन से ज्यादा लोगों को हायर किया है, ठीक है, और ये शो करता है गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस की कमिटमेंट को। एंड दिस प्लेटफॉर्म हैज हार्नेस्ड डिजिटल कैपेबिलिटीज एंड मेड द होल process transparent, compliant, and efficient as well. And when we talk about the present part, so this digital procurement platform offers 33,000 service providers across the whole country, right? Now let's try to understand more about this part. So the when we talk about the government e-marketplace, my dear friends, इसको 2016 के अंदर एस्टैब्लिश किया गया था, और ये गवर्नमेंट बायर्स को एंड टू एंड डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करता है कि पब्लिक प्रोक्योरमेंट को हम एग्जीक्यूट कर सकें। तो कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव रेट पर हम जो भी हमारे गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स हैं उनको प्रोक्योरमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट रहती है, तो वो यहाँ पर चीजों को प्रोक्योर कर सकते हैं। लाइक वी यूज टू गो टू द शॉपकीपर्स, राइट, to purchase the products, but government of India and the officers of the government, the departments of the government, they basically take these products by procuring it through the government e-marketplace portal, ठीक है, and recently they also come up with a manpower outsourcing, जिसके अंदर जो गवर्नमेंट बायर्स हैं दे आर हैविंग अ वेरी गुड सोल्यूशन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस टू हायर आउटसोर्स रिसोर्सेज। तो यहाँ पर किन डिफरेंट रिसोर्सेज को, किन डिफरेंट पर्सनल्स को हम हायर कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस, विच इंक्लूड सिक्योरिटी पर्सनल, हॉर्टिकल्चर स्टाफ, मल्टीटास्किंग स्टाफ, डेटा एंट्री ऑपरेटर्स एंड फैसिलिटी मैनेजमेंट प्रोफेशनल्स। तो इन तरीके की सर्विसेज के लिए हम we can hire the people through government e-marketplace, and that is how potentializing on this particular portal we have achieved the milestone of 1 million, over 1 million hiring in year 24-25. That is what we need to remember from here. Let me tell you another important part, that recently Minister of Heavy Industries has also achieved this milestone of basically 1 million electric vehicle adoptions in the last financial year. So this is another news article that I have just dictated you so that you can remember that we are talking about the Minister of Heavy Industries, which have adopted electric vehicles of over 1 million. Now moving to the next part, another milestone there in the news article, that is milestone in renewable energy capacity. So my dear friends, when we talk about the renewable energy, which ministry will be giving the data? That is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. And it has achieved a historic milestone in the addition of renewable energy capacity installation. As you can see here, that in 23-24, the installation was 18.57 gigawatt, and now it has increased to 25 gigawatt for fiscal year 24-25. which basically marks 35% increase over the previous year's addition. तो last year हमने 18.57 gigawatt energy add की थी, and this year it has improved by 35% to 25 gigawatt. And that is the right part. Apart from that, when we talk about this increase, ये जो increase है इसके अंदर कौन सा sector है जिसने अपना major role play किया है? So it is India's solar power sector which has led this renewable energy growth. क्योंकि last year अगर हम देखें तो in the solar sector the capacity installation was there of 15 gigawatt, and now it has increased to 21 gigawatt, which shows in itself an increase of 38%. So solar energy में 38% increase हुआ, and it was the major leader in enhancing the India's renewable energy growth. And now this part has basically increased. And now, when we talk about the overall energy capacity installation, the renewable energy capacity installation in our country, it has improved from 18.57 gigawatt to 25 gigawatt. That is the right part. Okay, I hope that this part is also clear. And you have to tell me in the chat box who's presently serving as the Union Minister for Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. तो ये आप मुझे बताएंगे चैट बॉक्स के अंदर. अब हम बढ़ते हैं अपने अगले आर्टिकल की तरफ. So Maharashtra government has partnered with the Microsoft. We all know, my dear friends, that this era is of the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and that's why Maharashtra government has decided that we will be establishing three cutting-edge artificial intelligence centers of excellence. So center of excellence बनेंगे three different locations पर, which is Mumbai, Pune, and Nagpur, and this is going to help the state to adopt the artificial intelligence and integrate the artificial intelligence technologies in its culture. और जो स्टेट के एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन है उनको भी हम मोर एफिशिएंट बनाएंगे बाय इंटीग्रेटिंग दिस एआई एंड फॉर दिस महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट has signed a partnership with the Microsoft Corporation. So दोस्तों यहाँ पर एक तरीके का कंपटीशन लगा है कि everybody wants to make the most out of the artificial intelligence, and that is really a very good part, right? That we are adopting these new technologies. But यहाँ पर एक चीज काफी important है that even the state governments are deciding now to basically adopt AI and integrate AI into their administration so that we can make it more efficient. And for this, we have partnered with the Microsoft Corporation. And as a part of this partnership, Microsoft will be providing the different training programs and certification to the government employees so that we can definitely make enhance their skills and do the capacity building in terms of AI capabilities. Next part, Commonwealth Secretary General. So Shirley Boshwe has become the first African woman to assume office as Commonwealth Secretary General. And with this, she has become the seventh Secretary General of the Commonwealth. तो Commonwealth की seventh Secretary General ये बन गई हैं. Absolutely right. Next part is about Tashkent Open exam of memorial title, and India's Nihal Sareen has won this particular title, defeating all the different players, right? And this particular event took place in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. When we talk about this title, guys, as you can see here in the picture, this particular title is for chess. तो chess के लिए इस title को credit किया जाता है, and this title has been won by Nihal Sareen. Next part, my dear friends, a very important news. So Vandana Kataria, who is a Indian famous hockey stalwart, she has announced her retirement after serving the country for a period of 15 years. She has been the part of the Indian hockey team for a period of last 15 years, and she appeared in 320 matches for the India, and she scored 158 goals for the nation and making her the most capped player in the history of Indian women's hockey. तो सबसे ज्यादा कैप्ड प्लेयर रही है, मतलब कि सबसे ज्यादा मैचेस इन्होंने खेले हैं फॉर इंडिया इन टर्म्स ऑफ वुमेन्स हॉकी. और अगर हम बात करते हैं 2020 टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स की, तो वहां पर शी also become the first woman to score a hat trick at the games, the hat trick of the goals, right? And she made a debut in 2009, and after 15 years she has announced her retirement. And during this whole time she was also honored with different major awards which are there in our country, like Arjuna Award, Padma Shri Award, along with other important awards. I have not mentioned the other awards because these awards are not that important, but yes, the name is very important and her remaining records are also very important from the examination point of view. Please remember the name Vandana Kataria. Now the next news article, that is Esports Conclave 2025. So Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports इन्होंने inaugurate किया Esports Conclave को 2025 न्यू दिल्ली के अंदर, और the theme of the conclave was forging the path to global leadership. Basically we want to make India a global leader in terms of ई स्पोर्ट्स। और ई स्पोर्ट्स के मामले में हम इंडिया को एक फ्रंट रनर बनाना चाहते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिजिटल स्पोर्ट्स रेवोल्यूशन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव कम अप विद दिस कॉन्क्लेव सो दैट द पीपल एंड द डिफरेंट स्टेक होल्डर्स they can sit together, and this conclave can become one stop solution to think about how we can make India a global leader in terms of esports, right? That is why this conclave has took place. Whenever this conclave you are talking about, you have to cover that what is the location of this conclave, that is New Delhi, and what is the theme under which it has been conducted, that is forging the path to global leadership. That is the right part. So my dear friend, that was the last news article of the today's session, and we always tell you that it is very important for us to analyze that whether we are able to retain all the important information from the examination point of view from these current affair articles or not, and how can we analyze that part, the retention levels of ours, that is basically by solving the MCQs. And here are the MCQs for all of you. So now it's your time to show your performance, and I will be asking you the questions. You have to tell me the right answer to these questions. So question number one is about the Project Tiger and India's tiger population. You have to identify which of the following statements are correct here. The first statement, India launched Project Tiger on 1st April 1973. So is this statement correct? Yes, this is correct. Second statement, the India's tiger population in 2006 was 1411 tigers, and this has increased to 3682 in 2022. So this statement is also true with the respect to our discussion in the today's session. Then India now has 100 tiger reserves covering approximately 1 lakh square kilometer of forest land. But guys, here let me tell you that India is not having 100 tiger reserves. It is only 57 tiger reserves which are there, covering 83,000 square kilometer of forest land. That means third statement is incorrect. Right answer will be option B. That is only statement 1 and 2 are correct here. And I can see here that Shanika, Vathishwari, Gururaj, Pavan, all of them have given me the right answer. Nishu, no, the right answer is not option D, but it is option B. And why? We have already discussed that. Now let's move on to the next part. So next question is, who has become the first African woman to assume office as Commonwealth Secretary General? Commonwealth की नई Secretary General कौन बनी है? Shirley Bosho. She has become the first African woman to take this position, and option B is the right answer here. Next part, how many manpower resources were hired through the digital procurement government e-marketplace platform in financial year 24-25? So what exactly is that particular number of people who have been hired through the GEM? That is 1 million. So this government e-marketplace is really a gem for the Indian organizations, in the Indian government offices. So right, Guru Raj, Shanika, Vatishwari, you have given me the right answer to this question. Move to the question number 4. According to the Moody's rating, what is going to be India's GDP growth forecast? It will be 6.5%. C, option C is the right answer. Very direct questions and very easy questions for all of you. But let me tell you that we will also come up with the important statement-based questions. But here, before that, let's have this question with the two blanks. So you have to identify which state government has signed an MOU with which organization, under which it will be establishing 3 cutting-edge artificial intelligence center of excellence. The AI Center of Excellence को 3 places पर install किया जाएगा, and that includes Mumbai, Nagpur and Pune. What is the name of the state government and the organization? It is Maharashtra state government, which is signed with the partnered with the Microsoft Corporation. So option B is the right answer. Well done, guys. Now we are having the next question. You have to identify the name of the person who has recently announced a retirement after serving for 15 years in the Indian women's hockey team. What is the name of this person? Her name is Vandana Kataria. Option B, Vandana Kataria is the right answer. Absolutely right. So now it's the time for the homework question, and the today's homework question is basically on the child adoptions in India. You have to identify the statements which are correct. So what you can do that after the completion of this session, you guys can come back to this particular session and you can watch the whole session, revise the topics, and then you can answer me the homework question. ठीक है? So absolutely right, Anjali, Vatishwari, Shanika, Nishu, Pavan, Gururaj, you have given me the right answer to these questions. And now when we talk about the homework question of the previous session, guys, the question was on the E 6.0 reforms index, and we were required to identify the statements which are correct. The right answer to the question was Option A, that is 1 and 3 are correct here. And when we talk about the star performer, that is the people who have given me the right answer to the homework question in the comment section. These are the star performers. And today I'm having really a very, very long list of people, as you can see on my screen. So Aditya, Babita, Ashish, Pavan, Utkarsh, Sachi, Ritika, Gururaj, then Amit, Bhadra, Sumit, Vishwajit, Geetha, Anjali, then Sayuk, Dak, Aditi, then Rajshri, Vaibhav. So a long list of people is there, my dear friends. I cannot dictate all the people, but yes, I'm really glad and I'm really proud of you that all of you are giving me the right answers in the comment section. And that shows that yes, if you can answer the question correctly in this session, let me tell you that you can also answer the question correctly while you are giving your examination. ठीक है? तो एग्जाम के टाइम पर भी आप उस क्वेश्चन का आंसर सही सॉल्व कर पाएंगे एंड दैट इज बेसिकली द स्किल लेवल दैट you should need and you will be able to have that skill level, attain that skill level by solving the questions in these sessions. So now, my dear friends, if you're still new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos that we offer to you. And in order to revise this particular session, you will be requiring a PDF of this session, and you will be getting the PDF from the Telegram channel of EduTap. And you can join this Telegram channel by clicking on the link given in the description of this session. तो काफी स्टूडेंट्स की क्वेरीज आती हैं कि सर हमें पीडीएफ कहाँ से मिलेगा. So this PDF of this session is you will be getting this PDF from the Telegram channel. Okay. So thank you for your kind words, Shanika, Nishu, Pavan, and Sumit. So, my dear friends, that was all from the today's session. Now, if you're having any queries, then please feel free to revert with your queries in the chat box regarding to your preparation, and I will be happy to answer your queries there. And if you are someone who is watching the recorded part of the series, so do not worry, just mention your queries in the comment section. And if you need any kind of guidance from us in terms of mentorship, right? Do not worry about it. You can just email your queries at hello@edutap.co.in and you can also call us at 814-620-7241 and we will be having a conversation with you. We will be resolving all your doubts there that how to prepare, what to prepare, when to prepare, what is the exact timeline to prepare. So when to prepare is very clear that you have to start your preparation from now onwards if you have not yet started with your current affairs preparation because there are aspirants who have started with their preparation since last few months, right? And that shows that they are already little steps ahead of you. And if you want to beat such kind of aspirants, it is very important that you should start your preparation right now and do not wait for the right time. Right time will never come. Today is the right time to start with your current affairs preparation and moving one step ahead towards becoming the next officer in your desired organization. Now I can see that as there is not a single query in the chat box, that means that we are good to conclude this particular session. So, my dear friends, thank you for joining us. Now, we'll be meeting you in the next section. Till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy learning.